Thank you once again for tuning into Car and Bike. The Tata Harrier.EV has many firsts to its credit. Many of those features like dual motors, more terrain modes, and transparent view will help you when the going gets tough. But as a user of an EV, what you're also looking for is everyday practicality, which also means how comfortable is the cabin, how long is the range, and how fast is the charging. Well, today, finally, we're getting to spend some exclusive time with the all-new Tata Harrier.EV, the flagship EV from the brand, to answer all the questions you may have about this SUV. So let's get started straight away. But before that, if you still haven't subscribed to Car and Bike, please do it right now. Hit the bell icon so that you can get all the latest from the world of auto right here on Car and Bike.
Starting at 21.5 lakh rupees, the Harrier.EV feels enticing even before you start driving it. The long list of features just add to the anticipation. But before we get to the drive, let's take a closer look at what the SUV offers in terms of design and tech. It doesn't look too different from its ICE siblings, save for the enclosed grille, a refreshed center air dam, and exclusive alloys. However, just 4 color options apart from stealth, we could have had a bit more.
In the cabin though, you will find a bigger contrast when compared to the Harrier diesel. And the big highlight here is this massive 14.5-inch central freestanding touchscreen. It is bigger than the one seen on the Harrier diesel, and just the sheer size of it takes some time in getting used to. However, in terms of features, it is quite nice, especially this Dolby Atmos system given on this top empowered version of the SUV, along with the Drive Pay feature, which helps you in making seamless payments when you're charging the car. The QLED display is indeed very impressive, something you haven't seen before, and it is truly of high quality. Another thing that is very nice is this digital IRVM, which comes with an inbuilt dash cam and 64 GB internal space to record a lot of your driving throughout the day. So both the front or rear or split view, you can choose what you want. You can choose to switch it off. You can choose to take pictures through it. So there's a lot that this internal review mirror offers. Again, a highlight inside the cabin of the Harrier.EV.
Seat ventilation, wireless charging, 65-watt C-type ports, and a panoramic sunroof all are there in this top trim. The Harman audio system has been upgraded with the new JBL Black speakers on this top trim, which has definitely enhanced the experience. The SUV can also be unlocked using an NFC card or digitally through an app, and as many as 7 users can be given access simultaneously, which is good. Fit and finish is nice too, and I didn't seem to find any quality issues here. Seems Tata has taken customer feedback quite seriously, and it shows here.
So how is the second row experience on the Tata Harrier.EV? Well, I like this extendable headrest. They are quite nice, make it more comfortable, but still no headrest for the middle passenger despite the SUV getting a digital IRVM, something that Tata could think about probably. But what's also nice is the fact that this car is wider than the Harrier diesel, which means 3 people can sit here more comfortably, and even the floor is absolutely flat to make it more comfortable. Importantly, the Boss mode, the famous Boss mode in Tata cars, here gets electric settings. So sitting here, I can just press these buttons and push the front seat forward to make more space for myself. You have 2 fast charging ports, C-type 65 watts, that is quite fast. And you also have a sunshade here, but be careful when to use them.
Boot space is 502 liters, which is around 50 liters more than Harrier diesel, another advantage of having an EV. You may know by now that the Harrier.EV comes in 2 battery pack options, and both 2-wheel drive and what Tata calls as quad-wheel drive, or quite simply all-wheel drive. It is the first car from the brand to get dual motors, and that is exactly the variant we're driving right now. Combined power output stands at 391 bhp, while the rear-mounted motor independently makes an impressive 235 bhp, which is much more powerful than the Harrier diesel.
On this quad-wheel drive, the peak torque figure crosses 500 Newton meters. Yes, you heard that right. That is a serious number even for an ICE vehicle. On an EV, it just takes things to a whole new level. And remember, you have the boost mode as well. So I was a little wary of trying it out on public roads. So I found a closed stretch of road. because the claim is that it does 0 to 100 in just 6.3 seconds, and yes, it actually did that. So the Harrier EV, despite being almost 400 kgs heavier when compared to the Harrier diesel, is still seriously quick.
Apart from boost mode, you also get the regular eco, city and sport modes along with multiple levels of regeneration which can be conveniently changed by using paddle shifts. Being a rear wheel drive certainly helps when it comes to aerodynamics, especially with an SUV body style. Drive the Harrier.EV and Harrier back to back, you will certainly feel that this one handles differently and makes the driver feel even more confident on the straights and on the curves.
Talking about suspension, because that is really a key when it comes to EVs, even more than ICE vehicles. And here you have an all-independent setup with a multi-link rear suspension and frequency selective damping. And these things really contribute to a really comfortable drive, where dynamics also are very good. So you forget the shape of the car, you forget the fact that this is an electric vehicle. You are still seriously impressed with both the handling as well as the ride quality of the Harrier EV. Very little can be felt inside the cabin, and I'm saying this at a time when the roads are not really in the best of condition. You have a lot of broken patches because it's been raining everywhere and roads do suffer because of that. Despite that, very little can be felt inside the cabin, irrespective of the speeds you're driving at. One more thing that is absolute key when it comes to electric vehicles especially are the NVH levels, because you have of course a silent car, but how silent is the cabin, how much insulation you get from the exterior factors when you're driving a car like the Harrier EV. Let me tell you, it is quite good, because right now I'm driving between a lot of traffic on a high speed road, so everybody's going at around 70-80 kilometers per hour, which means I expect a fair bit of noise to come in, but that is not really happening. So in terms of that, Tata has done a good job. Things are in control and you're getting a silent drive with the silent EV.
The Harrier.EV has everything in it to be an off-road enthusiast delight, as it can take you on the trails without burning a big hole in your pocket. All-wheel drive as many as 6 terrain modes, a special off-road assist mode, transparent bonnet, 600mm water wading and a ground clearance of 205mm. We could finally have some converse from the ICE loyal off-road community.
So of course you have a terrain mode here, even more than the ones seen on the Harrier diesel. But what I seriously like and I'm impressed with is the custom terrain mode, because it gives you a whole lot of flexibility and you can actually drive the way you want to with the Harrier EV. So it lets you choose a lot of things. You can choose your terrain mode, you can choose your drive mode, city, eco, sport or even boost. You can choose your region levels of 1, 2, 3. And the best part, you can also choose your steering mode, something you haven't seen in a vehicle from Tata till now. So between sport and comfort you can choose, and that is one thing the drivers are looking for in terms of individuality.
On to range, and this is key. Claimed real-world figures suggest that the SUV will run anywhere between 420 and 505 kilometers depending on the battery pack and the variant. Quad wheel drive claims to do anything between 460 and 490 kilometers, which is the highest for any Tata Motors EV.
Just to give you an idea, right now it's showing you a range of 325 kilometers driving on the city mode right now. But it is important to tell you that I have done a lot of my driving today in the boost mode and also the sport mode with hardly any regen being used. So this is not like ideal driving that you would do on an everyday basis, because today I've been driving more like an enthusiast. But if you drive in the eco mode, this number that is showing on the cluster will of course go up. Remember, 84% battery is still remaining on the car right now. And let me show you this. Now when I change modes, what happens? So right now I'm in the city mode. I go to eco, this number would go up to 338. I come to sport, and this number would of course reduce to 305. If I come to boost, it will reduce further to 289. So let's back to the eco mode. Let's go to 337, and then using paddle shifts I would start changing my region level. So right now I'm on L2. Let's go back to L1 first. It says 330. Let's go further back to L0. It says 320. So increasing it once more. L1, L2 336. L3 maximum region will take it up to 339 kilometers. So a lot of it depends on what region level you're driving on, what mode you're driving in, and of course your driving behavior as well. So the car is capable of giving you a lot. It's up to you how much you can extract out of it.
A big battery means 10 to 100% AC charge takes 10.7 hours, while a 15 ampere plug point will do the same in 29 hours. On the other hand, 120 kilowatt DC fast charging will ensure a 20 to 80% charge in less than 25 minutes. 250 kilometers can be added with a quick 15-minute charge, and that is just a little more than your average petrol pump stop. Then you have attributes like 5-star crash test rating, 7 airbags, level 2 ADAS, self-parking, summon mode. The list just does not end. You also get vehicle to vehicle and vehicle to load, which adds more versatility to the vehicle. Prices range from 21.49 to 29.74 lakh for QWD Stealth, and for the 7 kilowatt AC charger, you need to pay an additional 50,000 rupees. Looking at the package and the prices of Harrier.EV, that indeed is a great value on offer. Importantly, the rear-wheel drive variants are also more affordable than the SUV's main rival Mahindra XEV 9e. For first registration, Tata is also offering a lifetime warranty, which is another confidence booster.
The Tata Harrier EV is not just an electric version of the SUV, but it is much more. It gives you more features, is more capable, and of course is bigger too. It can easily give some more expensive EVs a tough run for their money with its capability, dynamics as well as cabin. For me, clearly it is the best Tata yet across ICE and EVs, one that indicates the big push given by the brand to electric vehicles.